Hey y'all. Um, I'm happy because today I received my first microphone. It came and I think the quality is going to sound a lot better. Uh, you hopefully cannot hear too much background noise from whatever is going on outside my room in my apartment, but you also might hear a little bit of movement over here on my end because I think this microphone's really sensitive. I don't know how to, I might have to tweak the sensitivity on this, but I think the quality and the sound of my voice is gonna be so nice. And I am listening to myself here and it just sounds so good already. And I don't even have to sit very close by. I'm kind of leaning back. This is me a little bit more up. But yeah, I'm so excited about this, and the quality is going to be a lot better. So today or tonight, I thought I should say a little bit of share a little bit of wisdom, as I like to call it. I don't know. This is your reminder to always be content in yourself. And like I feel like now that's said a lot on social media and it's true, but it's still hard to follow that rule. And um, I feel like it will always be hard to stay content, not just in yourself, but in life in general. Like, it will always be hard to stay happy forever. And I don't think one person can stay happy forever. There's always going to be ups and downs in life. Sorry, that was my like finger cracking. Wow, the sound is that good that you can okay, I can't get away with anything anymore. But yeah, that is the sign. Just try to be content in yourself. Always stay content. If I were to nitpick at, what content means, like, I would say it's being happy or being satisfied with who you are, what you look like, what your personality is, what your thoughts and feelings are. Like, learn to know that it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to look how you look, act how you act. There's always, there's always ways that you can improve yourself, or there's always ways that you can change something about yourself, especially if you don't like it, or if it's, causing issues in your day to day life. But I think it's really important that you don't compare yourself to other people as much as you can. Don't ever compare yourself because it doesn't make sense to compare yourself. And honestly, I need to take my own advice. This is not advice that comes easy. It's not something that you can just, oh, okay, don't compare yourself. Okay, easy snap of the fingers and you just, everything's fine. It doesn't come easy, and this is easier information that's easier said than done. And a lot of my information and my pep talks, they're not only for other people, but they're for me. I also love to look back at this and kind of listen to myself, hear what I say and the words that I say, and try to really resonate with them, try to see where I'm coming from, understand it from my point of view in the moment now, and just really try to understand the words I'm saying and resonate that with my actual life, because a lot of these things are problems that I struggle with, and they're problems that everyone struggles with, like deep down, secretly, like they don't express them. It's something that everyone struggles with, and especially now since social media is so big. It's our lives. It's literally our lives. Whether if it's you're watching content or creating content, like you are around social media. Even if you don't have social media, there probably are people around you that do have social media, and they're probably bombarding you with like tons of TikToks or tons of like interesting facts or whatever they learned on social media, and they seem like experts and they know everything now. But like, honestly, social media is around us. It's so hard to not compare yourself to people that you see, influencers that you look up to, that you're maybe even jealous of, that you're obsessed with. Like, there's so many different, like, you have different biases, whether it's like a famous person, someone from like a K-pop group, someone who's a celebrity, someone who's even smaller, like a smaller YouTuber. There's even like a bunch of people I see, and it doesn't even need to be a YouTuber too. It doesn't even need to be on social media. You can compare yourself to your friends, your family members, people you see passing the street or on a walk. You can say, wow, they look so pretty, or wow, I like their nails, or wow, they look so good. Like, it's just so easy. So, not even on social media that you compare yourself to people. But it doesn't make sense. Like, if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense. You are your own person. Everyone is supposed to look different. Everyone is supposed to be different. Everyone's supposed to have a different body type. Everyone's supposed to have a different look. Everyone's supposed to have different shapes and sizes. We're supposed to be different. If we were all the same, or not even the same, but if we all looked the same, if we all had the same look, the same, we acted the same, we had the same emotions, the same feelings, life would be pretty boring, don't you think? Like, life would not be how it is now, and we wouldn't have different perspectives. We wouldn't have different outlooks on life. We couldn't be able to teach people things that maybe they needed to hear. And honestly, I feel like in a way that's kind of how life is supposed to go. We're supposed to teach people things. We're supposed to relay good information, bad information, like myths, interesting facts. Like, we're supposed to highlight these things and tell people about it and make people aware of these things, because that's all a part of life. Like, life is about learning, life is about growing and exploring and figuring things out. This is all our first times on this earth. No matter what age we are, we're constantly learning new things, growing every day. And it's just amazing how we're our own people, we're new people. If you're religious, God created us all differently. That's why we have different countries. That's why we have different ethnicities. That's why we have different like languages. We're all supposed to be different. No one's supposed to be the same. We're supposed to have different experiences. We're supposed to have different mindsets, different perspectives, different personalities, different looks. Like, it's all different. A lot of it too, even if you are comparing yourself to someone, or you're jealous or envious of someone, you want what they have, you are just constantly comparing yourself to what you don't have and what you want to have, and you kind of just don't think you're worth anything, which you are. You're very worth everything. I'm worth something. I hope the lighting doesn't keep fluctuating, but yeah, we are all worth something. And yeah, we're all, like, the fact that we even made it onto earth is kind of cool. Because just think about it, like, if your parents didn't meet, you would not have been born. Like, there's so many different outcomes. You can have, like, parents can have so many different outcomes of children. Like, people can, like, you never know. You either might not have been born because your parents never met, or maybe you were like, your parents, even if you were an accident, you could have been like the last child. And if your parents didn't decide to keep you or didn't have you, then, or if anything happened, you would not have been here. So your life is basically a blessing, and everyone's on in earth or came to earth to do something. We all have a purpose, no matter if it's big or small. I also think that a lot of the time we're here to teach other people things. We're here to like share our experiences with the world. It doesn't have to be publicly, it can be privately. It could be something as planting a tree, planting a seed in earth, or like you see something happening and like you warn others or you tell other people about it, and soon everyone knows about it and it could have like saved people. Like I just kind of feel like you don't know how much impact you've done. If you really look back at your life now, you probably have done so much for the world that you haven't even realized. And I think you need to like pat yourself on the back. Again, I need to also think about this for myself too, because I'm thinking right now, I'm like, what have I done for the earth? Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just kind of here. I'm just trying to figure things out. I'm a part of this world now and I have to just live in it. Like, I don't really know what I've done. But you've probably done a lot. And maybe society, maybe humanity has been doing more bad than good for the earth because of all this pollution, whatever. But we've also done good for the earth. We've also done good for humanity and ourselves. We are creators, we are innovators. We strive to do better and we strive to grow. And we come up with inventions all the time. We come up with like easier, more efficient ways to do things. Like, in a way, social media, even though it's done bad, it's also done good. Because there are good places on social media you can go. There's so many different platforms too that can help you. And there's also good sides to things. I don't think there's only bad sides to things. There's also good sides to things on earth. And you are the factor of these good positive things that happen. Like, you've also helped to create it. Even if you're a consumer, if you've ever been on like an app, say like a meditation app, or if you've done a therapy session, or even if you've watched a random YouTube video that is telling you about facts or telling you about this, in a way you are consuming things that are being pushed to other people because of your view or because of your participation, because of your review on a product. This has shown other people your perspective and your side and what they should do about that, how they should make their decision, and ultimately it things will happen how it's supposed to happen. If you put a bad review on a product that you got, someone might see that and be like, you know what? I don't want to buy that. Come to find out that, that product is bad and it wasn't good. Okay, well, maybe that tells the company that they need to do better at marketing, maybe innovate it a little bit more, add features, add more benefits to it, add more things that will embark this customer satisfaction that will actually benefit the consumers so that it can be better. They're going to improve their product. Okay, well, now the product is better and it's actually doing something positive. Like, it's growing. It's doing something for us that maybe society needs. So I don't think you should discredit yourself. Never tell yourself that you're not enough. Always be content in yourself. Even in terms of looks. And I know this is a big thing too. Like, we love to compare ourselves to other people. And this is especially hard because, the more sometimes we look at ourselves, the more deformed we feel like we look too. There's so many different hacks like on TikTok where it's like, oh, my face isn't symmetrical, like I don't have a symmetrical face. Like apparently symmetrical faces are like seen as like, your face is perfect and like it's not inverted, and like, oh, like I want my eyes to look like this. I want to be pretty, or I want to be cute, or I want to be hot. Like you always have these looks that you desire to have, and it's almost coming to the fact like where we always want what we can't have. Like it's always what we don't have that we want the most. And honestly, you can be content. Like, there's a lot of people that are content with what they look. There's a lot of people that will act confident on social media, and in a way that's intimidating, because since they're confident, you almost get this sense, this feeling as if, oh, I feel like I need to look like them, or I feel like I need to have what they have because they exude confidence, and I want that confidence, like you feel like since they're happy with how they look, you should want to look like them because they're confident in how they look. So you start to compare yourself and be like, do I have this like her, or do I have that like him, or did they have this? Like you start to compare yourself, and it just becomes this continuous cycle of comparing yourself and being sad and changing yourself, and which again, that's not always a bad thing. If you're allowed to change yourself. You're allowed to change anything about yourself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Like you're allowed to change yourself. For sometimes it could be for the good, sometimes it could be for the worse, but I think again, figuring that part about yourself is how we grow, how we learn about what we like, what we don't like. Ultimately, I think it just comes down to you. Like, you really just have to think about what you want, and it's a whole self discovery journey. That's what I think life is, honestly. The more I think about that, is like, it's just a self discovery journey. You're really finding yourself. You have, like, how many years? Like, I don't know, the average lifespan. Maybe like 70, 60, 80 years, hopefully more than that, but I don't know. I don't know what the average is. It's different for like genders too, but I don't really know. Just an estimate. You have that many years to figure out yourself, and sometimes that will be put on hold because you have family to think about. You have friends. As soon as you have relationships, like, and that will allow you to lose yourself. It's not like a big part of life is self-discovery, but it's not all that life is. I guess I should reiterate and say a big part of life is self-discovery and being content with yourself. And I want to emphasize content with yourself too, bring that back, because also when that part of your life where you focus less on yourself and you focus more on other people or other things like work, relationships, family, you're going to have to be content with yourself, or the best thing I feel like is to be content with yourself in those moments. Because they always say in relationships too, you can't really love someone unless you love yourself. And you don't have to have yourself all figured out, because you're constantly figuring yourself out. You're constantly changing what you like, your dislikes, your hobbies, your habits. Like, you're constantly changing that. And you're doing that in different settings. You're doing that with friends. You're doing that like in a new house, in a new life, in a new area, in a new location. You're always changing yourself. And in a way too, that's another part of self-discovery. But it's also good to be content with who you are and to never lose yourself. And I've mentioned that in other videos too, but I really want to emphasize that as well. I just feel like these are really big parts of maybe how to go about life a little bit more, like with more positivity, with more optimism, is to kind of just, you're never going to know entirely what path you're leading down or where you're going, but I think you just honestly staying true to yourself and like really asking yourself, what do I want to do in this moment? Who am I? Like, what would I do? What am I comfortable doing? I feel like that's really going to help you make the right decisions, or like the best decisions for yourself. And you'll persevere if you know yourself, and if you know what you're capable of, and if you know that you can keep going and that nothing will knock you down. Others won't knock you down unless you let them. And if you stay content in yourself, then you're able to be more resilient and get back up easily when you need to. And I just feel like, you know, all coming back to being content in yourself, it just optimizes your life. It optimizes your chances at being more successful, being more grounded, being more true, being more positive, being more, satisfied in who you are and what you have, and strive to get more and strive to do more. Like, a big part of life too is also, we always want more. Again, like, we always want what we can't have. I feel like if we hit one milestone, we always want to go to the next. We always want something greater than what we have. And that's a good and bad thing. I do think it's a good mindset to kind of always have goals and to always try to hit your goals. But, I guess we always have to be mindful of, how much we can really handle at once, depending on our situation. Um, how much is good enough for us? When do we need to kind of pull back and say, okay, that's enough? If we can do more, like, if it's gonna impede our health, our safety, learning those kind of things, and really making rational decisions too. Rational and realistic decisions, I think, are very important. And again, seeking advice, seeking guidance and mentorship in the people that you trust and that give good advice and that have had success and have had experience. And also, I feel like also growing up too, that's kind of what you crave. You crave a lot of, you just crave to seek knowledge. We also get wrapped up in, working too. And our work life becomes almost our entire life. And it's good because we are creating new things. We're doing what we love. We're making money. We're surviving. We're living. We're taking care of the people we love and our family and ourselves. So work is necessary, but it's important to not overdo it. It's important to also take care of yourself, self-care, like really make sure you're not kind of falling out on who you are and your values and your morals and what you stand for, what you want for yourself. And it's not bad if those things ever slip your mind, or if you don't always know what you want to do, or always find that, like, okay, yeah, I'm sure about this. It's okay to make unsure decisions, to take a risk. It is okay to do that, because again, it's all part of your self-discovery. Like, not everything you're gonna know right off the bat. Not everything is gonna be like a strong gut decision. Not everything is gonna be in your best interest, and that's all a part of learning and growing. Even if we get ourselves into really bad situations, if we come out of it, let's hope that we come out of it strong and that we learned from it, and that we can teach other people not to go down that path or to make a better decision. Life is all about learning things about yourself, growing, and teaching other people about things. It's about making society and the world better, and it's about being content in who you are, because ultimately we're all supposed to be different. We're all supposed to make different decisions. We're all supposed to act different, look different. Like, and I hope that all of what I'm saying is coming together. We kind of can understand why we're supposed to be different, why we're not supposed to look the same, and why we're just supposed to be individuals in this world. And like, I'm not saying that, we want to be clones of each other, we want to be copies of each other, but I think it's okay to have a lot of diversity. It's okay to just be who you are, changed or unchanged. And two, if we're even going back to looks and like physiques or whatever, I guess what I've come to learn too is like, yeah, a lot of it is genetics, and a lot of it we cannot control. We can enhance or we can decrease, but a lot of it is not controlled. We weren't born with it. A lot of it is natural, and we might get lucky in terms of our genes, we might get unlucky. And even in our living situations, how we were raised, where we were born, who we came across in our lives, a lot of that we can't control. A lot of that is meant to teach us things, and maybe it's something that we actually needed to know in order for us to have learned something or made the right decision or tell people a story that our lives that might save them or they might remember, and then they'll tell their friends or their family or other people. And again, it's just helping society, and life will take its course. But I yeah, always be content in yourself. Don't try not to compare yourself. Try to give yourself a lot more credit where credit is due, because like, you don't understand how awesome that you are and lucky you are and beautiful, handsome, special, like, that you are. And you deserve to be praised and valued by anyone. So if people are not doing that, we're going to have to, you know, we're going to have to nicely just not let that happen. Put them in their place a little bit, because we know who we are. They know who they are. We ultimately are all human beings. We all deserve to be treated with respect, no matter how old or young you are. Just because you're older than someone doesn't mean you should be disrespecting them or feel like that you need to boss them around in a negative, rude way just because you can. Just because you're younger than someone doesn't mean that you can get away with a lot of more things that you should, or that you should be mean to them. Like, I still do think that youngers, people should respect their elders. Older people should be nice to the younger generation. We should all just be nice to each other, and not just think that, oh, because I am older than you, then I have authority, and like, just because I said so, blah blah blah. Like, we all have emotions, we all have feelings, and I think we should all just treat each other with respect. And I know, like, not everyone is gonna be nice, hard, like, it depends, especially in family dynamics and parenting and child parent relationships and marriage relationships. Like, it all is different situations. We also are not all perfect, so, and we're all going through something. So if you think someone is being mean or not acting like their self, or just doing this, like, they are probably going through something. So just be a little mindful. Don't be quick to judge. Don't be quick to snap at them. Because, yeah, when we're put under pressure or we just have a lot going on, we don't tend to be ourselves. That's human nature. Our hormones and mind and our thought process is just going elsewhere, and we're not gonna always be apologetic and happy and content. And we're not always going to be satisfied with ourselves, and we're not always going to be satisfied with the life that we're living. And we're not always going to be great people to be around. So it's important for the person on the end of not experiencing something good, or like having something going on, try not to lash out at people. It's hard, especially when you're kind of going through a lot of emotions, but I don't think it's fair to that person to lash out on them. So try to just either step away for a bit, tell them, like, I'm not in a happy headspace right now, or just try to calm down on your own for a bit. And the person who is receiving this, and it's like, what's wrong? Like, I wonder what's going on with them. Like, no, it might not always be you. It could have been you. Think about it, maybe what you might have said or done that might have upset them. And if you haven't, like, it's always good to ask, and it's always good to communicate. Ask them what's wrong, if there's something you did, just be mindful, be respectful to those people. And we're all going through hard times, and I guess we just have to have a little bit more sympathy for each other, and not always expect sunshines and rainbows. But yeah, this is your daily reminder to just always respect people, always be content with yourself, always like look to learning and growing and being who you are, and discovering yourself and changing. Be open-minded, be carefree, learn. And when you need to take a break, take a break. If you're lazy for a bit, be lazy. If you just need to cool off, cool off. You need that recharging. And honestly, I need that recharging. We all need that recharging. Do what's best for you. Do what you need to do so that you can get back up and reset, recharge, and do it 10 times better. Just know that you play an important role in this life, and that I'm proud of you. You got people out there who are proud of you, and I'm proud of myself. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to mean it, and I'm going to believe it. And you should too. You should tell yourself that in the mirror every single day. Apparently it works. Just like trick yourself, gaslight yourself, whatever. Fake it till you make it. It always works, or so I've heard. Maybe I should try some of that. Just always look in the mirror and say good things about yourself, say positive things about yourself, and do positive things for other people. Because who knows? It could benefit you in the future, or it can't, or might benefit someone else. But, we would honestly like it too if we heard news that saved our lives or might have prevented us from doing something bad. So It's always worth it. Stay content and always love yourself.